in that matter before Justice in the seat, which has just been concluded briefly. Thank you.
I remind you where you are reached?
Yes, sir. No, you can remind me briefly.
The answer was the affidavit sworn by Mithika Linturi, ID 10-14-6839, and he indicated that he was aware that he graduated from the University of Nairobi with an LLB.
Thank you.
And that his application form before court indicates that his marital status is in quotes second as.
Thank you. Father.
Yes, sir.
How is the larger male?
Wonderful.
Fantastic. The weather is good?
Yeah.
Thank
Praise are there.
Thank you for the prayers. The court has reminded you where we stopped.
Yes, Your Honor.
I gave you 2 documents to read, and at that time was around 6 something.
Yes, Your Honor.
The lighting of the court might have been not very fantastic. Before I give you these documents, you remember I asked you whether the Catholic Church is the one that gives the license for somebody to conduct the marriage. Who gives the license for somebody to be able to be licensed to conduct a marriage? Who gives that license? That's what I'm asking. That's my
Government
question.
of Kenya, Your
The
Honor.
Kenyan government. Is it true that I myself, if I'm not gazetted and licensed, I cannot conduct a marriage?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I purport to conduct a marriage when I'm not licensed, is there a marriage that I've conducted?
It can be null and void.
It will be null and void. Two, can anybody conduct a marriage anywhere? Can we conduct a marriage inside this class or this court?
Your Honor, if you are authorized, you can do it anywhere.
The law, you can do anywhere a marriage.
Yeah.
Kindly confirm that you can do a marriage anywhere if you are licensed.
Your Honor, one time I found a sick person and they wanted the marriage and I did it in their bed. I thought they can accept that, Your Honor.
Thank you. We have agreed that you can do a marriage only when you are licensed. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
And we can only do a marriage in any place you decide.
Not when you decide, Your Honor, it depends on the situation.
The situation, I'm saying, the situation.
Sure.
Thank you. Do you have any law that you are relying on the place of marriage?
Yeah, that's a legal question. We can deal with it in some.
You can only say no. I'm not asking a harder question. True? You have any?
Your Honor, that can rely on social ethic and the situation ethic.
Thank you. So that is the reason why you conducted Mithika Linturi's wedding in any other place called a certain church?
I did it officially, it was supposed to be done, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's
In
proceed.
Tigania Parish.
Let's proceed to the third question. I praised you that you know very well the canon law.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any, as lawyers we deal with the laws of this country, is there any canon liturgy or knowledge or a document under the Catholic Church that deals with how to conduct marriages.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the name of that document?
It is called the rights.
Let the court get it. It is called the rights?
Yeah.
Only that?
The rights of the marriage.
Rights of the marriage. That document, which you know very well, is roughly how many pages?
Over 200 pages, Your
It is
Honor.
over 200 pages. Who is the author of that rights to marriages?
It is the Catholic Church, Your Honor. It is made for the Catholic Church.
I want the court to get it.
It is made by the Catholic Church Fraternity, Your Honor.
It is a document for the Catholic Church.
A legal document.
It's a legal document.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's a document that explains every procedure in a Catholic marriage.
Yes, Your Honor.
What does it say for people who have children and they want to do a marriage under the Catholic Church? What does that document say?
Your Honor, it has no problem with the children.
No. What does it say? I'm not saying whether it has a problem or not.
Your Honor, I'm not aware of that place discussing about a person with a children getting married. Because after all, marriage is for procreation.
Answer my question. Do you know the provisions and the policy document, what it states on people who have children outside they want to conduct? It's either you know or you don't.
Your Honor, the document talks about taking care of the children whom you have and the one you are going to have.
Does it stop anybody who has a child outside from conducting a Catholic church?
Perhaps, Your Honor, so that we're not in a wild goose chase. I'm of course aware we're in cross-examination and that the scope is fairly wide. But even at its widest point, cross-examination is still subject to the rule that the evidence being elicited must be relevant evidence in the sense of evidence relevant to a matter in issue. There is no question on the pleadings in the case before you on questions of canon law. The Honorable Mithika Linturi was married under the African Christian and Marriage and Divorce Act. The church is only a representative of the state at that forum, which is the place of worship. And that's why the returns of that marriage are made to the state. Unless counsel can show us, because in my view, and I'm projecting to us, Your Honor, Section 5 of the Evidence Act, it says, subject to the provisions of this act and of any other law, no evidence shall be given in any suit or proceeding except evidence of the existence or non-existence of a fact in issue. The fact in issue is whether the Honorable Linturi is married to the lady called Kitany. And of course, there is another fact in issue which is raised by the defense, that marriage Kitany alleges cannot be because the Honorable Linturi lacked capacity anyway by virtue of his prior marriage to Mithika. So the marriage to Mithika is not a marriage under canon law. It is a marriage under the temporal laws of the Republic of Kenya. And specifically, a marriage under Cap 151, now repealed and replaced by the Marriage Act of 2014. The reason I'm saying it is irrelevant evidence and prohibited by Section 5, even if it's elicited, it will just be wasting your time. Unless counsel can ask these witness questions, showing that the marriage between the Honorable Linturi and Mercy violated the provision of Cap 151. Unless that is the question, questions of whether it violated or did not violate canon law or whatever other cases of law is irrelevant. It is irrelevant evidence, and by statutory decree, specifically Section 5, that evidence is inadmissible. So it doesn't matter what answer the witness gives you, it is a waste of our time.
Your Honor, it has also come to attention. And this is just at a speculative level. That there is somebody who is armed in court. And if that's true, then we'd like the court to intervene this in advance. We told that there's a gentleman who is armed. Could be speculation, but we need to be safe because the world is full of terrorists. And anything can happen. So we don't know. I apologize in advance in case it's not true. I apologize in advance. We told that there's a gentleman who is armed. Could be speculation, but we need to be safe because the world is full of terrorists. And anything can happen. So we don't know. I apologize in advance in case it's not true.
Yeah, let me deal with the question of guns as a matter of laughter. These courts are manned by the National Police Service. They know their job. I know Professor has been a police officer sometimes. He's more sensitive to guns, but that is not what we are here for. And let us not cast aspersions on people who have been clear to be in this court.
Your Honor, even members of parliament are not allowed to come to court with guns. And that's why we have security to detect. It matters less, it matters not. Even if the Pope was here but he's armed. If a police officer is in the building, is in the house and is armed, we need, probably in our opinion, to be court.
Serious matter, speaking of myself, I don't carry guns. But I want to hope it is not true. I think there's a matter we must actually address inclusively. We can't just brush it off. It's elementary. No one should really attend court armed. So as Prof can tell us the person he thinks is armed. If it turns out he's not armed, then we just move on.
Let me ask the questions about the attempt by a senator and his team to kill my client. It is on record. The court has records that the life of the petitioner is in danger, just like it was to the house girl who died. We have produced obis about the life-threatening instances for the petitioner. The question about her security is not an issue that is not known to this whole world. And I'm on record that I've been representing clients who have been found in septic tanks. My client is one of them whose life is in danger from the respondent. She has taken her own security initiative and measures. If anybody wants now to actualize that murder so that she's exposed, then we will object very seriously. She has her own security arrangements, which have made her to be alive to see this day. The prayers of Father cannot assure her life. Therefore, Your Honor, for the security of the petitioner, which is a national question, it cannot be granted by the respondent who has provided the life-threatening threats to the petitioner. And let this court not be used to interfere with the security arrangements that are in place, so that the respondent is able to understand what security measures have been placed to protect her life. I believe there are very many police officers here, within, marked or not marked, and that should not be an issue in this court. May the life of my client be protected. I made the same noise for Cohen, he was murdered. I'm making the same noise today for this petitioner. I made the same noise last week for Jane Mugo. This is a trend in this country. Your Honor, we wait for your directions over that matter.
Yes. That there is a person present in this court at the instruction of Marianne who is armed. That being the confirmation, Your Honor, that person must surrender the firearm through the usual channels used for people to surrender firearms when they enter a court of law, and they'll get back their firearm when the court session is over. It is not the policy, it is not the practice of our judiciary to allow harmed persons to be present in a court of law. The court is a court of justice, Your Honor. Even the symbolic implications, the mere symbolic implication of someone being present in a court and harmed is itself inconsistent with the idea of the independence of the judiciary as it has evolved from the common law days. Not even the king's soldiers, Your Honor, I'm taking you back to antiquity and medieval times. Under the common law legal system, not even the sovereign himself can come to a court of law armed, leave alone a subject of the sovereign. Not even the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Honor, is allowed. It is an assault on the stature, on the independence of the judiciary. It is an assault to the idea that the judiciary is a fountain of justice where everyone, the strong and the weak, run to. People don't run to a court of law based on their might or their weakness. Everyone is subject to the rule of law. The judiciary has a policy on this, it has a practice on this, and to the best of my knowledge, when I have walked to a court with people who are armed, the protocol and the procedure is they surrender their firearms to the judiciary security, and when they exit, they take back their firearm. That's the procedure. Speaking of myself, I think it would be a sad day. I think this case has stretched so many limits, Your Honor, and I think the petitioner thinks she can continue breaching. We are reasoning about live broadcasts, hearing a family matter in open court.
Counsel, let me object. I was interject, and give the following directions to save on time.
Yes.
Because regarding on the same issue, and we'll say that the judiciary has a policy on issues of handling of firearms within the precincts. this court as it stands, it is not the duty of this court to do the frisking and all manner of things. Ours is to ensure compliance. There are experts in the name of the OCPD and the OCS we have an OCPD here in this court who sits at court, but they man the security of this court. So we call upon the OCS and we have sent a message that he may investigate the issues raised and take appropriate action where possible, so that the policy of the judiciary as regards and in any event the whole gap in handling of farms can be dealt with. That may include, we as yet do not know whether there is somebody, as it is we don't know, because just we do not know. So let the experts do their work, and we call upon them to come and see what they can do. But for now, let's just continue with our matter. We are called security. They are here. In fact, I don't know where that police is supposed to be here every other time. But so let's proceed as we sort out. Let me cut you short again. Ask that question.
Thank you. Look at your documents that you presented before this court on page 23. You have your documents on page 23? Have you seen the document you brought to this court?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is which document?
The church marriage record, that's the title of the copy of this document.
Church record? Church?
Marriage record.
On page?
23.
It is a document from which institution?
From Tigania Parish.
Is it a Catholic church document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it a Government of Kenya document?
It's a Catholic church document, Your Honor.
What is the basis of that document?
To confirm the photocopies.
What is the basis? Where does it come from?
From the church.
Does it come from the law called the Code of Canon Law?
It is part of it, Your Honor.
Does it come from this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you ever seen that law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that the law of the Republic of Kenya?
This is the law of the church, Your Honor.
This is the law of the church.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is the law that produced this document.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are we together?
Yes, Your Honor.
Therefore, this law
Your Honor, I would like to have a copy of that document so that we follow the
is a
situation.
This.
No, I'm talking of the canon, the
Canon.
code of canon law.
Yeah, the one, yes.
He's born and consecrated under this law.
No, that's not the issue, Your Honor. We should have a copy of this document. Otherwise, how am I supposed to re-examine and whatnot if questions are being put on it?
I've only was examining, not producing the document.
Fair enough.
Fair. Council should simply allow these witnesses to be cross-examined. You had rehearsals with your counsel before you stepped in. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then they cannot protect you now. You are the hands
It
of
depends,
the
Your
No,
Honor.
that is intimidating.
That depends on what you are saying.
We're not here to protect anyone. We're
Thank you.
here to find the truth.
So, we have agreed without dispute that there is an interlink between the Catholic canon law and the African Christian Marriage Act. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
In that, the procedures before one qualifies to do a marriage certificate is purely Catholic and is provided by this law.
Yes, Your Honor.
What does this law talk about children born outside the marriage and you are going to consecrate marriage. You can recall the page 1071. Canon opposites. They are called canons. What does the canon say? What does the canon say?
I don't remember what it says, Your Honor, but I can
Go to what is the name of the canon? No, they are trained on how they talk. We call ours articles.
1071.
Tell the court. What does Canon 1071 say?
Okay, Your Honor, Canon 1071. It says that except in a case of necessity, no one is to assist without the permission of the local ordinary at 1. Marriage of foil. 2. Marriage which cannot be recognized by the civil law or collaborated in accordance with it. Number 3, a marriage of a person bound by natural obligation towards another party or children arising from a previous union. Number 4, marriage of a person who has notoriously abandoned the Catholic faith. Number 5, marriage of a person who is under censure. Number 6, the marriage of a minor whose parents are either unaware of it or are reasonably opposed to it.
Read for me Canon 10:3. Slowly.
10:3 it says.
That's the only place I'm interested.
Wow, good. A marriage of a person bound by natural obligation towards another party or children arising from a previous union.
Thank you. 4, Canon 4.
A marriage of a person who has notoriously abandoned the Catholic faith.
Thank you. To the best of your knowledge, was one Franklin Mithika Linturi at this time having other women before we go to church?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
That is a very ambiguous question which has no foundation or leg to stand at all. How do you ask someone such an intimidating question? Was he having other women? How did he know?
And then, Your Honor, that if I had the canon right, I don't know whether because it was read.
When it says a marriage to another person or children arising from a previous union, so the question then is fair. The children must have come out of a woman. The question is, was that woman? The next question would be, does he know about it? Does he know it was a union that was there previously? Was it ever hidden from him? Did the senator, was he transparent? These questions then must arise from it. You cannot now limit us to tell us we must know about some union. The answers will come from him. It's cross-examination. No, let him answer. He's not being intimidated. Do not even worry about that. When it is intimidated, he will know. And he will tell you.
We have all gone to school. Parents also mentioned, and the framework under which our mind. Second leg. We are talking of a question which is coming up from our land, highly respected insinuating that the father there knew about the women that Mr. Linturi was going around, which means he's not differentiating whether that one of those women was Mr. Linturi's mother or sister. He has to be specific.
Mr. Mudomi says, we will continue. The cows come home. I will take that approach, but you will have to answer those questions. I have asked you, were you aware at the time you purport to have done a wedding that Senator Mithika Linturi was married to had been married to one Susan Gasheri?
I was not aware, Your Honor.
Were you aware that Susan Gasheri had two daughters with Mithika Linturi, the insurance officer then?
No.
Were you aware that the first child with Mithika Linturi and one Susan Gasheri is called Brenda Mwendwa?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
Were you told that child was born in 1995? Was that information disclosed to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
What? Were you aware that there was a child called Brenda Mwendwa born in 1995?
I was not aware, Your Honor.
Had you been made aware, could you have done what you purported to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
You still could have gone ahead.
Yes, Your Honor.
What does that canon say about who, on those special circumstances, when will such that marriage be allowed? Read the canon.
A marriage of number 3?
I'm on article canon 10, 3 and 4. What does 4 say?
7, 3 and 4. A marriage of a person bound by a natural obligation towards another party of or children arising from a previous union.
Yes. Is this Susan Gasheri a natural human being? Or is an item, like a car?
Your Honor, this number 3 and 4
just answer. I've
coming
already
from
moved
number
from
1.
there. I'm asking this. Somebody bound by a natural what? A natural what?
Can read that again.
Yes.
Marriage of a person bound by a natural obligation.
Yes. And what are those natural obligations? They have been defined as being what?
Either another party or children arising from a previous union.
Either another party. Let us deal with the party. Is Susan Gasheri a human being of the women gender?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is she a natural person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you ask Linturi whether he was married to that person?
I asked, Your Honor.
Did he disclose that he has a child with this person?
I was not aware yet.
He never told you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Had you known, go to what the law allows you. Look at Canon 10, 4, 5. What?
A marriage of a person who is under censor.
Yes?
Number 5 says, a marriage of a person who is under censor.
I want you to read this one that allows you. So, did you have any authority by the church to do that wedding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which authority? Do you have special authority in writing?
Your Honor, it is said clearly here, except in the case of necessity.
That is a necessity. Who decides what is that necessity from the canon law?
Your Honor,
Read there. Who will decide that this is a matter of necessity?
all the parties involved,
Read.
Your Honor.
Read there what the canon law. You've talked of necessity.
Except in a case of necessity.
Yes.
Except in a case of necessity.
Yes.
No one is to assist without the permission of the local ordinary.
Period. Without the authority of who?
Local ordinary.
Go to the definition of that. It must be a canon 2. What is a local ordinary?
Canon 2 says that a marriage which cannot
Just
be...
tell us, what is a local ordinary? This is the only body or human
The
who
local
can...
ordinary is the bishop.
Is the bishop. Thank you. Local
Ordinary.
ordinary is the bishop. Thank you. That it is only the bishop, not any other human being, can approve that this one is a matter of necessity. Were you a bishop? Yes or no?
No.
Did you consult the bishop to give you express authority?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And it was not necessary in this
That's
case,
why
Your
I
Honor.
have moved away.
It was not necessary for this case, Your Honor.
Let's move. Number 2. You have a Senator Linturi now marrying Mithika Many. Which date?
The year 2000, Your Honor.
2000. Was Mercy having a child before that date?
No, Your Honor.
Are you aware of Mercy's son called Seth Emanuele Kimathi? Have you ever heard that Mercy had a child before they married?
I've never heard, Your Honor.
Had you known this, could you still proceed? Mercy had a son before the 8th of the child was born before the day of the wedding.
Your Honor,
Was
the
it disclosed to you?
date of the wedding, Your Honor, was just one day, but they started courting with a friend long
That's
time.
what I'm asking. Was it disclosed to you that these people have a child before the wedding?
That I may not remember, Your Honor.
Had it been disclosed, could you still have proceeded to do the wedding?
If it was their son, Your Honor, there was no problem.
Had it been disclosed?
I don't remember, Your Honor.
Thank you.
This is 20
Let me ask you
years
the
ago.
third woman. Have you ever heard that there is a lady called Helen Mumbi Karuki?
I don't know how, Your Honor.
Are you aware that Helen Mumbi Karuki had a son, has a son from Senator Linturi called Dylan Mutwiri?
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
Irrelevant question, Your Honor, because it's on that line of questioning. This child was born only 8 years ago. The marriage was done 20 years ago. Doesn't matter.
But may I seek protection? This is cross-examination. Counsel will have re-examination to deal with those issues.
And perhaps, Your Honor, so that I'm understood, I'm not just being frivolous. I'm of course conscious that it is cross-examination. And I'm very familiar with the rules of cross-examination. As a matter of fact, it's me who is the lead of the team that teaches that law at the University of Nairobi. My point is, even though cross-examination is wide and unlimited, that unlimited does not include irrelevant evidence. Evidence is relevant if it goes to prove or disprove the matter before the court. Dylan Kimathi, even if we assume for argument's sake it is on record that this child was born 8 years ago. The marriage was done. It's irrelevant, and that evidence is by law inadmissible. Cross-examination will not make it admissible.
Wait. Let me give you guidance. Our good witness here matters joining the two parties. Mercy is only matrimony.
Yes.
What may have happened thereafter might not be within his knowledge.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I think that question may embarrass him because he wouldn't know then how to deal with it, because those are not matters or facts which were or ought to have been within his knowledge at the time. So let's move on. If it is true that Elan was born 8 years ago, let's cut it off and move on.
And to those of Your Honor, if we avoid mentioning some of these minors, now
Refer to the child, we'll move on.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you need us to mention the names, we can go to camera.
Let me ask you a very good question.
Yes,
My
Your
good
Honor.
friend has told you he teaches the law of evidence at the University of Nairobi. True? Have you heard him tell you that?
I've heard it here, Your
witness
Honor.
cannot be cross-examined on that.
You know, let me then respond to the question he has raised. Counsel has been objecting
No.
on a very flimsy.
Let's move on.
Yes.
Please just put the question. Let's
Very well.
move on. Let's avoid.
Were you a student of University of Nairobi?
No,
Have you ever been a student of University of Nairobi?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been a student of Tangaza University?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is Tangaza University an affiliate of Catholic University?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do I teach there?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
I'm a lecturer at Catholic University.
Wow. Welcome. Thank you.
So anybody purporting to have taught at the University of Nairobi has never taught you. Answer my questions. Read your witness statement. Paragraph 8.
To the best of my knowledge, the marriage between respondents and the Mercy Kaimenyi has never been dissolved by a court of competent jurisdiction.
To the best of your knowledge, even today,
Yes, Your
it has
Honor.
never been dissolved.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you have knowledge of Mithika Linturi before he married to today. True.
As far as I know, he has never.
No. That is what I'm saying. To your witness statement number 9, you're saying you have knowledge before he married up to today.
To the best of my knowledge, is I have today.
And you're able to answer this question. Whether Dylan was born yesterday, you know.
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
That is irrelevant
Please.
consideration. You have already made a ruling. And that's what.
You know, I've brought the reasoning why I'm asking this too, and I want the court to capture the cross-examination. If your lawyer has never told you, we are looking at a character of this person, then and today.
Your Honor, as far as
I'm answering to the court that my line of cross-examination, a fraudster from day one is a fraudster to today. That is the billing, Your Honor, I'm billing that. Look at the sequence. Look at the narrative. It will not stop as impeaching his character.
Your Honor, the character that can be impeached is the one of the witness on the stand. The credit that can be impeached is the credit of the witness on the stand. For instance, on the paragraph being now pointed to the witness, because that is his statement, he has sworn that to the best of his knowledge, the Honorable Linturi has never divorced Mercy Kaimenyi. If counsel wants to impeach the credit of this witness, what he would do then is to show that this statement, the father knew it was not true. He actually knew Linturi divorced. But he cannot be trying to impeach the character of a person who has not yet been called before a witness will never be able to comment. Because as we keep saying, this is bantering. I think now I recall the word, Your Honor. In many our diction is quite a bit challenged. There is a line between cross-examination and badgering a witness. Badgering is B-A-D-G. I know. Yes. What counsel has been doing is to badger this witness. And the rules of cross-examination do not permit you to badger a witness. The Evidence Act actually also forbids questions that are necessarily annoying and abusive and unnecessarily intrusive. I don't know what is necessary for me. It's section 159, 160, I think 158. We really don't need to go there.
My submission is that the latitude of cross-examination is as wide as trying to extract as much information from the witness as possible. This witness was brought here before the defendant took the dog, not by us. It is by them that he is traveling. He can be stood down. We wait until the defendant comes, we cross-examine him, then proceed. But if he has accepted as a violence to stand there, he must answer our questions.
Your Honor, I would object to that.
I'm on my feet.
I would object to that.
I'm on my feet. So, Your Honor, I have not asked any question that is abusive to my good student. Have not. I have not asked any question that is intrusive about the bedroom issues. I have simply asked what is in public knowledge. The questions I'm asking are documents in courts. I cannot be hindered from asking him whether, if he knows that this person by character from around 1998 to date, that is his character.
That's not, perhaps Your Honor, I'll take an unusual step. I'm reading section 160 and it's on our screen here. This is what it says. The court shall forbid, the operative word is forbid, shall forbid any question which appears to it to be intended to insult or annoy, or which, though proper in itself, appears to the court needlessly offensive in form. 159. Indecent and scandalous questions. The court may forbid any questions or inquiries which it regards as indecent or scandalous, although such questions or inquiries may have some bearing. Questions before the to facts in issue or to matters necessary to be known in order to determine whether or not the facts in issue occurred. I know I'm trying to say, Your Honor, I could read many more. The fact that cross-examination is as a general rule unlimited does not mean it is as wide as the known universe. Elastic as the cosmos. It has its limits, and I just read some of them. If this were a lecture, I would read many others. And all I'm saying, Your Honor, is that unless the style and the strategy, as I've said before, is delay this matter, delay and delay. In any event, the petitioner is having a nice time in the respondent house in Ruda. She's enjoying all those expiry orders and whatnot. If that is the strategy, then it's a perverse strategy. Let's stick to the issues. This witness solemnized the marriage between Linturi and Mithika. If there is anything wrong he did, in so doing, that can be put out. He committed, that can be put out. But things that have no bearing on whether that marriage is celebrated, is valid as a matter of law, then they are irrelevant, they are needlessly offensive, it's badgering the witness. Even if we assume the answers are the ones my colleague wants to hear and that they sound nice to him, at the end of the day, that evidence is irrelevant. I have not had a question whose answer would, for instance, entitle Your Honor to say the marriage between Mercy and Linturi was void. In fact, there is no petition to impeach that marriage. If counsel wants to impeach that marriage between Mercy, if he wants you to arrive at the conclusion that that marriage was void, because you have no power in these proceedings, the only marriage Your Honor can rule whether it exists or doesn't exist is the marriage between the petitioner and the Honorable Linturi. The other marriage, if counsel is hoping he can impeach it through this witness, I think this is the wrong forum.
This question, it is our case. what we are looking for. Counsel cannot tell us that we are not making his irrelevance. It is true to him. That is music to his ears. That is what we are doing. At his own time, he'll impeach the evidence we have produced before this court. If according to him, we are looking to nullify this marriage, and he is now telling you that the court does not have jurisdiction, those are his own submissions. At the appropriate time, he will make that issue. The question before this court, and I've always said, there seems to be an urgent movement towards saying that my client is enjoying some orders. That is an hallucination that is in the mind of counsel and his client. Yeah. And that is why I was being moved to the question, does the respondent want a specific judgment already they have written? Let us proceed in our manner. When we let me be on my feet.
Let's say edit, Your Honor. My team has instructed me. Because the strategy is to waste our time so that we don't conclude. My instructions are I just keep quiet, and that's what I will do. So I leave this matter to the court to direct my colleague on what is the scope and what is not the scope.
And give the direction that the certain amendments that have been made in the witness statement, and as fielded questions, that's finding out the authenticity or otherwise of the government's statement. In light of the provisions provided in Evidence Act, I will direct that that cross-examination can continue, but we are directed that we follow the laid down rules as regards the treatment of the witness who is in the dock, so that he is not put into disrepute or otherwise. But cross-examination proceed.
Thank you. To the best of your knowledge, can you swear that you knew properly the person you wedded?
Yes, Your Honor.
With all this information I've given you?
I knew him, Your Honor.
Did you know that he had other women who contradict the canon law?
There was no contradiction, Your Honor.
It was never disclosed to you?
No, there was no contradiction, according to me.
According to you?
As I went on, Your Honor. I was the officer in charge at that time, and I did all my investigations, and I was through what I was doing, the right thing, Your Honor.
And we confirmed you are not the bishop. I don't want to go there.
Yes, I'm not the bishop, my Lord.
And the bishop...
In my capacity, I was at that right to go to the...
Very well. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Let me move to the next question. Look at the affidavit you read the last time the court left you. I want to show you the type of person you claim you wedded. Look at that affidavit on page 337.
I can see it, Your Honor.
You know, that's where we had stopped. Tell us in this affidavit, paragraph 3, what does Mithika Linturi say?
Your Honor, I can't prove this.
I'm only asking you to read. Your defense team has thrown in the towel. Whether the cow come home.
Not unnecessary slide, Your Honor. We have not thrown in any towel, and in men we actually don't do that.
Sure.
Very well. Those are counsel and counsel. Who has sworn this affidavit?
It is written here, Franklin Mithika Linturi.
When was it sworn?
The dates are not clear, Your Honor, here, but you can read for me.
The 30th? Is it 30th of March
2017.
2017. Had you married Mithika Linturi by this date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, read what he said himself.
From which page? Which part?
Read the whole of it.
Read.
Page
Your Honor,
337.
read it again, Your Honor.
You will read
When?
it 100 times.
Sure.
You have no option. Just read that
Number one.
affidavit.
I, just like okay, this Franklin Mithika
It
Linturi.
is the second last page in our own affidavit. In our own affidavit, filed on the 24th April 2019.
Yes.
Yes. That's where we had stopped.
Franklin Mithika Linturi of the post office, box number as written there, Your Honor.
There's nothing as written there.
This box 2694 00100 Nairobi, Republic of Kenya hereby solemnly make a oath and state as follows. 1. That I am an adult of sound mind and the holder of the Kenyan National Identity Card number 10146839 and am therefore competent to answer this affidavit. Number 2, that I am the registered proprietor of all that church property known as title number 123703, pursuant to a certificate of title dated 19th November 2019, 209, and registered LR number 7785/1324, original number 7785/10/892. That I swear this affidavit to confirm that I am not married and therefore the property does not form part of any matrimonial property. That I swear this affidavit to further confirm that I do not require the consent, spouse of a family or company members in order to charge the property herein. That what is deponed to herein is true to the best of my knowledge, information, belief. I swear this affidavit in accordance with the oaths and statutory
Declarations Act.
Yeah, that one. You at Nairobi, this 30th day of March 2017. They said Mithika Linturi ID number 10146839.
Look at down here. Is there a stamp of a commission of oaths?
It's written in Josephine W. Wamboi, PO Box 402-205 00100 Nairobi.
As a who?
Advocate and Commissioner for Oaths.
Thank you. Now, what does Mithika Linturi say in paragraph 3? On the 30th of March 2017. What is he saying on oath?
I swear this affidavit to confirm that I am not married and therefore the property does not form part of
This
any
is
matrimonial-
Mithika Linturi saying on 30th of March 2017 that he is not married.
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Or you are
I'm
still
building your case. I'm building my case. Are you again surprised that the man has consistently, I've dealt with the question of children, I've dealt with the question of white women, this is the third limb. Are you surprised that this is true his character? Are you getting what the type of man I'm bringing? This is the man of God you wedded. True. The man I saw there on the TV. True?
He's a good Christian.
He's a good Christian.
Yeah.
Can a Christian lie here that he's not married? He's a good Christian.
Just for the record, Your Honor, section 55, evidence of character is not admissible. So again, we're just wasting your time because whether Linturi has this character or whatever, there is a statute that says evidence of character.
We took directions. They have their time to re-examine and submit on that. So in this affidavit, he confirmed he's not married. And I put it to you that this affidavit has not been challenged by anybody.
You know, so my marginal numbers have challenged it. The ones
I'm not asking about yours.
Never.
I'm asking you.
So we are.
This is this position. He's not married. Look at the document you filled yourself. Page 23. You know, the same, this is, there are respondents list of witnesses in page 23. Have you seen it? In your own handwriting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, have you found that document? Yes, page 23.
Yes.
Start. Which is this document?
This church marriage record, Your Honor.
Charge marriage record. It was done on which day?
The marriage?
This record, when was it done? The date it was done.
This record was done in April 2000 when they got married.
This is when this document was done.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Start from here. Serial number. You know, we are looking at
Bands number.
the band's number. You've gotten your honor? Yes. Look at band's number. How many bands were conducted?
3.
3. Proceed in
Church of Tigania.
the Church of Tigania. 3.
Yeah.
Proceed.
The dates.
Uh-huh.
One was 19/3/2000.
Yes.
Another 26/3/2000.
Yes.
Another one was 2/4/2000.
Yes. Proceed.
And the church of, there was no other churches when it was announced in this record, Your Honor.
Please go slow. What does the document demand? It has given you the first church. Does the document demand another church?
If it was announced there.
Just answer the question. Proceed. And in the church
Of?
Is there any detail?
Not applicable.
Have you read? Is there any not applicable?
There's and that's, Your Honor, there's and that's here, Your Honor. There's and
There's
that's, what
and
does and
that's.
that's mean?
Next.
And that's.
What is it required? Dates.
Yeah, but it was
And
not-
there are
yeah,
dates.
Yeah.
Next.
All with the dispensation from,
Read
given
again.
by,
Read that. Or with the dispensation.
yeah.
Is there a provision that there must be a dispensation if it is not to be there?
If it was there, Your Honor, because
Answer
this
the
paper
question.
is general to everybody.
Oh, no.
When you come today, the same I'm going to do the same.
You are
Your
my
Honor.
good student and I taught
Yeah,
you.
and you are my own good teacher.
Thank you. At least Mudomi has heard that.
And I'm reminding you as your
And
student.
I will not call the transcript to remark. That, because you are bright.
Not now.
Not now. Thank you. Look at it. With the dispensation from?
Not applicable.
Not applicable. Is this true that the only person who could dispense this is a bishop?
If it was applicable, you are
No,
honest,
no, no.
yes.
I'm saying there can be dispensation, authority by somebody to dispense the bonds being conducted in another church. Is there any authority?
Your Honor, in this case, this just not applicable means that it was not called for.
It was not called for.
Yeah.
Is
It
it
was not
mandatory?
necessary.
Is it mandatory that the bands must be conducted in the man's church and the woman's church under the canon law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The canon law demands that the bands must be in both churches. Did the bishop waive that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then proceed the last one.
Not applicable, Your Honor.
It is what? What is it asking?
Given in by
Yes, not applicable.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Delegated from the impediments or of, not
Is there any
applicable.
explanation provided?
Not applicable.
Yes, proceed.
Given by, not applicable.
Uh-huh.
Date, not applicable.
Thank you. To the best of your knowledge, is this document in sync to the canon law?
Yes, Your Honor.
2. Number 3, I've shown you the affidavit. Let's go to the prestigious university that my good friend Budomi teaches. You know, it is in the last page of our reply, page 338. Kindly read the document from the university where my good friend Budomi teaches.
From University of Nairobi application form
Yes.
for admission to undergraduate students, self-sponsored students.
Yes, sir.
For further information on application procedure,
Yes, sir.
refer to this web http://www. University of Nairobi at ac.ke admissions.
Yes.
Stroke. The copies of this form should be completed and returned or sent to the academic register, and the forms should be typed or written in capital letters. Attached to passport size photograph, 2 copies
Yes.
as back of depository. Is it here?
Got it.
Account number
What is the account number?
02
I want the court to capture that. Very critical for us.
02 073 102 15 54.
Yes. Which branch?
Westland.
Westlands. Deposit
Date,
dates.
yeah.
Which dates was
13th of July 2013.
confirmed by 13th of July 2013. You had already conducted a wedding.
Yes, Your Honor.
And to the best of your knowledge, that wedding was still intact.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's proceed.
Amount was paid,
How much did Mithika pay, or this person pay?
3 Kenya shilling 3,000.
3,000 shillings. Yes?
Narratives, names as shown in the slip, that is Mithika Linturi.
Is it the Mithika Linturi who saw an affidavit that is not married? The names are the same. True? The names are the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
The names are the same like the person you claim you wedded.
Let me check, Your Honor. This one is Franklin Mithika Linturi, and this one is Mithika Linturi.
Now he's
That's
calling
the-
himself Mithika Linturi. True?
Reference number?
Just a minute. Now he's calling himself who?
Yes, it is written here Mithika Linturi.
Is there a lack of space going forward?
Space is there, Your Honor.
So if he wanted to disclose the truth, he could have put Mithika Linturi Franklin. Is there a lack of space?
There's space, Your Honor.
There's enough space remaining.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you know him to be called Franklin Mithika Linturi.
I know him as Mithika Linturi.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all the documents you have seen, there are 3 names.
You can put 2 or 3, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You
Let's
understand
proceed.
it's the same person.
Yes.
Reference number 4359 2013 07 15 007 10 261 262.
Yes. Let's proceed.
Transaction number 262.
Thank you. Let
Name
us
of
go back briefly. Look at the marriage certificate. It is here, the marriage certificate. The question of names.
Yes, Your Honor.
Look at your name here. You have full names here.
Jason Micheni Nyiri.
Joseph Jason Micheni Nyiri. You are selective like him. When you want, you put 3. When you don't, you put 2 names.
That is normal.
It's a coincidence in me.
Normal for us.
It is a coincidence.
It is normal, not with Your
God
Honor.
has not had that.
Normal.
God has not had that. Let's proceed. Yes?
We have learned that, Your Honor.
Yes.
So
Let's go to them.
with,
What is he applying for?
name of the certificate or diploma or degree course applying for, Bachelor of Law.
Thank you.
Mode of study,
Part-time.
part-time evening. Study center, Nairobi. Facility or school or institution of law, Institute of Law. Intake year 2013.
Which
month?
month?
September.
That is when the study will start. September 2013. Had you conducted a wedding before that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's proceed.
Section applying applicant personal details.
Yes.
Name, Linturi, Franklin, Mithika.
You see now here they have put the 3 names.
Normal, Your Honor.
They have forced him to declare the other name.
Normal, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Address 2694. Post address 00100. Town is Nairobi. Country is Kenya. Telephone is 0722 218 000. No fax number, email, Mithika.
Yeah, proceed.
Date of birth 1969. Gender is male, of course. Marital status separated. Nationality Kenya. Religion Catholic. National ID 10 14 68 39.
Go to marital status.
Separated.
Were you aware that he has ever been separated?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
You are not aware. He's telling Mudumi, his lecturer, he's separated. And Mudumi didn't raise an issue. Are you shocked?
What does also mean, Your Honor?
No, I'm saying council he teaches there.
Actually, not him, just for the record.
Oh, this is his student. You can now see both of us are dealing with the student. Thank you. Is this man telling the truth, the consistency I'm telling you? To tell you that no truth was ever told to you, and no truth has ever been told to you, because that is the true character of the person you have come to defend.
Yes, Honor.
Okay. I want to now to start telling you a different line. A different line. Have you ever seen this petition by name?
I saw, I think when I came to the court, Your Honor.
Have you known her name?
I've come to know her as Kitany.
You have known her as Kitany Marianne Chebet. She's in this court seeking a divorce from the person you claim you wedded.
I'm not aware that, Your Honor.
No, that's what I'm telling you now. And you are part of the proceedings to divorce people contrary to the canon law. Does the canon law imagine of divorce?
Some interjection from the court.
Well, the court has
But
given that.
take care of that. We don't
I've
try
now
to do the
got-
same things.
So number 2, Marianne is saying that they met with Mithika Linturi when she was working in the Deputy President's office. Were you aware of that?
I was not aware, Your
You're
Honor.
not aware. That they started to interact from 2013 forwarding onwards.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I'm not aware about this one. Also, let's continue.
And this one, you remember I showed you an affidavit where he has said in paragraph 3 that on the 30th of March 2017 was not married. Were you aware of this one? That there was an interaction?
This is 2014, Your
Yes.
Honor.
Were you aware that they had started an interaction?
No, I was not aware, Your Honor.
Okay, very well. That they became very close, and the children I told you that belonged to me, Mithika Linturi, were brought and handed over to her. Were you aware of this?
No, Your Honor.
The woman you married called Mithika Imenyi. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is she still staying, or has she been staying with her children all through?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
So I'm putting it to you that now Marianne took over those children. Are we together?
And the husband?
I'm coming there. That on April 2014, the husband, Mithika Linturi, went to the Great Rift Valley Lodge for Easter holiday.
Yes, Your Honor.
True. Let me show you the photos. Little come around here. Show him the photos of the man he married having his best of times and the sober lodge.
You know, they are not very clear because they are black and white.
Can you identify Mithika Linturi from that? The
Not
coat,
very
the coat
easy.
one has color. If you want, we'll play them on the screen. Can you identify Mithika Linturi anywhere?
You see the one, Your Honor?
You have seen it.
I'm not very clear because these are
We'll-
black and white.
Well, I'm saving time. We'll play them on that. Have you seen him with her at supper?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And they were not reading the Bible.
Neither were they
Well,
kissing.
now they are here. Neither they are not kissing. Thank you. We will reach where they are kissing. Let's proceed. Carry on. Look at those photos. They're in color.
Yes.
Have you seen all of them?
Yes. Your
Stop
Honor.
there. Petitioner Marianne says in May or June, they moved to their home in Kilelesho. Are you aware?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
You are not aware. I'm putting it to you. Then, in August 2014, they went with these children for bonding session in Zanzibar. Show him the photos of Zanzibar, the color. Baptist?
I think so, Your Honor. Both they belong to another palace that I was in different palace, Your Honor. So I'm not aware of that.
2008?
Yes, Your Honor, when they got married, they went to another palace.
They went away.
To another
So
palace.
you do not have the full knowledge after the marriage what happened. That's all I've been driving at.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you tell the court that, then I can stop asking you questions.
Sit down, Your Honor.
The only knowledge you know is on that date. So this statement in your witness that you know that there has never been a marriage, there has never been a divorce, is a fallacy. Let's proceed. Court has captured that. I'm only putting to you this because you are never told. Then again, Kilelesho, I've told you. Then they went to Australia for holiday. These are good lovers.
I'm not aware, Your
No,
Honor.
I'm saying they are, the photos are there. Letitia, the photos of Australia for 11 days. Are you aware?
Not aware, Your Honor.
I want to show you.
Your Honor, I can see the photos, but it is
Proceed,
not
proceed.
written where they were taken.
You proceed.
Don't know where they were
proceed.
taken,
I've
Your
not
Honor.
asked you where they are taken. Just proceed.
I can see them, Your Honor. All the photos are here.
Proceed. That's page 26.
It's 26.
Linturi's children. True. That one has been settled.
I may not remember them, Your Honor. Maybe I know them, but can't remember their names or anything because Mithika belonged to Adi Parish
Thank
and I
you.
was only at the
So,
Parish.
let's proceed. I want to save on time. And I told you that Mithika Linturi moved to stay in Kilelesho.
That's what you're telling me, Your
Are
Honor.
you surprised that he moved because he could not afford to pay his own rent where he was staying?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
I'm putting it to you now. It is already in the court record. I'm not creating anything. I'm telling you the reason why he moved to stay with Marianne. Is it customary practice in Meru?
I can't get that, Your Honor.
Are you shocked that he moved out of his house for failure to pay rent? He went to stay in my client's place?
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's proceed. Get me the rent arrears receipts, marked
Returned checks,
from who is writing the letter?
Waiganjo Investment Limited,
Page 118, MJK 10, MJK 10, page 118.
Which one?
The band,
Sorry?
the court must get the document.
But this one is not designated.
The letter is coming from who?
Waiganjo Investment Limited,
Yes. To who?
to Honor Mithika Linturi,
Yes.
Unit number 12, Bida Homers, Gong Road, P.O. Box 2694,
Yes.
00100 Nairobi.
Yes.
Dear Hon Mithika Linturi, the returned check numbers 000221. This is to inform you that the payments made to us for rent payment for months of March and April 2015 via a check for an amount of Kenya shillings 315,000 has been returned to us by the bank on grounds of insufficient funds. The check dated 1st April 2015 was not accepted by the bank as your account does not have sufficient balance. You are an owned and a valuable tenant of our company, and we do not want to spoil your cordial relationship with you for this matter. We understand that this is a mere case of oversightedness. To clear this issue, we would request you to pay us the due amount of Kenya shillings 315,000, either through a banker's check or telegraphic transfer, along with the bank services charges of Kenya shillings 550 shillings immediately.
So, I put it to you that Senator had problems with finances, and that is the reason he moved to my client's house. Were you aware of this?
I'm not aware. No.
Thank you, I'm only telling you. Let's proceed. I want to save you. Were you aware that the person you married, called Mithika Linturi and Mithika Emeni, Mithika Linturi filed a petition in court to divorce Mithika Emeni?
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
Let you get me MJK 11, the petition. Let him read the divorce petition. Here we are on page 122. All right. Read from the top.
Republic of Kenya in the High Court of Kenya at Nairobi, divorce case number 128 of 2005. From Mithika, petitioner versus Mithika Emeni, respondent. Petition. They have a petition of Franklin Mithika.
Very well. It is a petition of who?
Franklin Mithika.
Is this the same person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is he divorcing?
Mithika Emeni.
Look. What are the reasons he's divorcing Mithika Emeni? Particulars.
I don't know, Your Honor.
Read.
Particulars of cruelty.
Yes.
Denying the petitioner is conjugal rights.
Were you aware that he had denied Mithika Emeni his sexual rights?
I can't know, Your Honor.
Were you aware?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's proceed.
Lack of love, companionship, and respect for the petitioner.
Were you aware of that?
Not aware, Your Honor.
Let's proceed.
Sending, threatening, and distressing text messages to the petitioner.
Sending what?
Threatening.
Threatening. You have had a complaint that my client also is being threatened. Is this not the true character of the person you are testifying?
The evidence
I'm not
inadmissible.
aware.
Proceed.
Interfering with and adversely affecting the petitioner's business affairs. Deserting the matrimonial home without justification cause.
Yes.
That the petitioner has not condoned the respondent's acts of desertion and cruelty. That the petitioner and the respondent are incompatible and the marriage has inevitably broken down.
Thank you.
that the petition is neither presented nor prosecuted
Very well.
in collusion with the respondent.
Look up the first page you forgot. The particulars of what?
Desertion.
What is Mithika saying?
The respondent deserted the matrimonial home in July 2003 and they relocated to Washington, D.C., USA.
Are you aware whether Mercy has ever relocated to the USA?
I'm not aware, Your Honor,
You're not aware.
and I'm sure he has never gone to USA.
This is who assigned this petition?
Your Honor, I don't know this signature, but it is written Mithika Linturi.
Do you know the signature of Mithika Linturi?
I'm not, no, my
Yeah, you don't know it. Let us not. You don't know it. It is written by. It is dated on.
15th day of August 2005.
Signed by signature. You don't know. Who is? What's the name down here?
Mithika, Franklin Mithika, petitioner.
Thank you. Are you aware this signature was verified by the DCI?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
I'll show you just now. I'll show you that the signature was put to test. That is the person you did a wedding to.
Your Honor, that's a matter of is according.
So you've heard the advocate say that you are not the DCI. True. You have heard that. And he has only told me that only the person who did that report can do that. True. Do you have an objection that person coming here to say the signature, to verify that signature?
I'm just listening to my
No, I'm asking. Do you have an objection? I don't, because you never did the report. True.
No problem.
Yeah, you have no problem. Let the forensic person come and do that. We have already made that application. Let us not go there. Because already we are asking that. And Your Honor, they have also considered for the DCI to come. Let's proceed. That Mithika Linturi went to marry Marianne Kitany in Meru.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
You are not aware. Look at the invitation card for the wedding. Marked MJK 12. You see them? You can be shown the invitation card.
Marianne Jebet Kitany and on Mithika Linturi. And then the one here, the farewell party for the engagement.
For the engagement. Look at, it is called Koitio in Nandi. Have you ever worked in Nandi?
No, Your
It
Honor.
might be posted to the parish on Nandi. Now look at the photos from page 127 in color of the wedding ceremony. Whether you can identify anybody. Are you identifying Mithika? Can you see him?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can see him. Photo 2,
Yes, Your Honor.
who are you seeing?
Mithika and Marianne.
Photo 3,
I don't know these ones.
but you can see Marianne.
Yeah.
Photo 4,
Yeah.
well, let's proceed. Proceed.
You can see her
You can see her and who?
and Mithika.
Yes,
You can see her and other people there.
yes.
You can see Mithika.
The court is seeing. Make it a bit louder.
I can see him.
Yes. Proceed.
Mithika.
Yes.
I don't know who this one, Your Honor, is.
Uh-huh.
I can't see them properly, Your Honor.
Veronica's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know Mithika's mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know his brothers?
Not very well, Your Honor.
Do you know them by name?
No, Your Honor.
You know, you don't know anybody.
I know them.
Thank you. Do you know the father by name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know his friends?
No, Your Honor.
You don't know any of his friends.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's proceed now. Now look at, we have now reached where Honorable Mithika Linturi on page 49.
There are two people.
This, can you see happening here in page 50? Who do you see?
I see Mithika and some old men.
And some old men. Photo. These are not males.
Yes, Your Honor.
What are they chewing?
This is Mira, Your Honor.
They are chewing mirror. Thank you. And these are Kalenjins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's proceed. I'll ask you later. So, look here. Can you see Mithika here?
Yes, Your Honor.
These are Kalenjins. Let's proceed. Page
I'm
52.
just wondering how you can.
These are Kalenjins. The
No, Your
council
Honor.
cannot now withdraw what has
Your
been
Honor, I've not
recorded.
confirmed. I've told them yes, because
Let's
has told
proceed.
me.
Yeah, let's
Unless
proceed.
they say not what you are telling me, Your Honor. You want that?
Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Who is this? You have never seen him.
It's not very clear, so I don't know.
It's not clear. Page 53. There are people you can't know.
You can say no.
Why?
I'm not aware, Your Honor, because I can't remember that day when I was.
You are not aware. You are not with him. I put it to you that on that day, he was in a village called Kepchomos, marrying one Marianne Chebet. Were you aware of that?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
And on that day, he brought a bundle of miras for the Kalenjins to chew as a sign of marriage. Don't be excited about the photos. And all this mira was brought by Mithika and his people. Were you aware?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
You are not aware. And on that day, Mithika Linturi paid dowry of 100,000 shillings. Have you ever been aware of that?
No, Your Honor.
Do you think he will tell you consistently, has never told you anything? You are not aware.
No,
And on that day, he gave Marianne's mother a gift of a car, a Nissan X-Trail. Are you aware?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
I put in to you that Mithika Linturi married on that day under Nandi customary law. Look at this photo. Get the proper lighting. She's holding.
In greenish.
It is greenish. Does it look like a bundle of mirror? Look at it very closely.
It looks like Your Honor.
It looks like the bundle of mirror. Who is standing next to her? Who you can identify?
Mithika is there, Your Honor.
Mithika is there. What clothes is he wearing?
Stripped, kind of stripped.
Of which color?
White, black, and
The photos I've shown, is that the attire is wearing?
yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
I know you are a Catholic friend. You cannot answer. Huh? Do you have brothers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have they married?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did they take Mira during their marriage ceremony?
No, Your Honor.
They are all Catholics.
No, Your Honor. And Mary's lunch and not all the parts of Mary that include Mira.
Thank you. Confirm that you told this court that you come from Chuka.
Yes, Your Honor.
And confirm that Mheshimiwa comes from Igembe.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I put it to you that the Igembe people hand over dowry, hand over their ceremonies by Mira.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dowry was paid of 100,000 in the house of the mother of Marianne Kitany. True? I'm putting it to you. I'm informing you.
I'm not aware.
And
Your Honor.
Marianne and Linturi Franklin sipped a traditional milk called mursik. Have you ever heard of mursik?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And raisins. You know, this is before you stopped even cash in church. This time they were bringing money. Are you shocked?
Your Honor, this is not the church, Your Honor.
No, but you have identified the father.
Yeah, but this is not the
We
church.
will
Your
tell
Honor.
you the charge that it was. Thank you. Let's proceed. Now, the man you married in page 104 of the same bundle.
Sure. Let's see.
You're not just back. Yes. Yes.
You can do better by page 8.
Oh, we forgot. Look at this person. Who is that person?
Mithika, Your Honor.
That is Mithika Linturi? True. Who is this person?
Marianne, Your Honor.
Marianne. What is Marianne doing with Mithika Linturi?
She is giving something over the mouth.
What is that she's giving?
It is not clear, Your Honor. And what is being given here.
Is this a cake?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
But Marianne is feeding Mithika Linturi.
It's giving here.
If Mercy saw this, could she kill anybody?
No, Your Honor, because you can also, in a ceremony, you can...
Oh, this is a ceremony. This is a ceremony. But you have confirmed that Mithika Linturi's mouth has not been opened by the police.
Yes,
He's willingly, look at the face. Is he smiling?
there's a child here, Your Honor, also. There's a child here also.
No, I've asked this. I'm not after
I'm
children.
seeing all everything here, Your Honor. Everything is here.
No, I'm asking this. We'll deal with the children.
Anita is calling it willing eater.
Yes.
So he's willing. And he's smiling.
He's opening the mouth, Your Honor.
Father, you'll be shocked of what you learn in this court.
I can't be shocked, Your Honor. We are used.
You are used to such concealment of facts. Have you seen Mithika Linturi? Anyone? Those photos of the what? There are many. 114, 113,
You want me
115.
to look for him, whatever I can. I'm not very clear he's the one, but he seems to be the one. but
He
not
seems to be
clear.
the one. I put it to you that this, if he's a true married man, he could not be doing those things in public. With a fornicator. Just look at him, scrutinize.
People are dancing, Your Honor.
You're happy. You're happy. You've seen the character of the person you wedded.
He's a good man, Your Honor.
He's a good man. And all those who repent will go to heaven.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is now the law. He's a good man. Everybody's a good man. All these people are good.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, religious.
He also good, Your Honor.
Even me. I'm not ever smiling. That is not. You can see your man at night in page 170. How do you love that type of orchestra? You knew the late senior Mithika Linturi.
I knew him, Your Honor.
Did you ever go to his house?
I've been there once, Your Honor.
Describe the house you went to. And when was that?
It was 2000 and it was 2016 and we went in the evening.
2016.
Yeah.
You went in the evening in the company of who?
There's another priest we are going with.
Yes.
Yeah, we never stayed. So we
You went into the compound.
yeah.
Was the compound old compound or a new compound?
And Your Honor, it was at night and they never went to the car. We went and they went back.
You simply reached at the car.
Yeah.
It's your evidence that you don't know the late senator's father's home. You only went to the car and left.
Yes, Your Honor. And then I also went there during the burial. Your
I'm
Honor.
not asking you about it.
I'm telling you,
I
I
relate
went there.
In 2008, 2000, when you did the wedding, to the best of your knowledge, where was the father staying?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
To the best of your knowledge, did that father of Senator come to church?
Yes, Your Honor.
He came to church. Do you know he left where? He left from where?
No, Your Honor.
So it is your evidence that the only evidence you can produce is during the burial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Who built that home you went and saw during the burial?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
You're not aware. I put it to you that Marianne built the home for late Senior Linturi. Will you be surprised?
Don't know about it, Your Honor.
No, I'm asking you, will you be surprised? That is our case. Will you be surprised?
Your Honor, I know our senator is a man who can do many things. So about the building the house, I don't want to take it that she built the house for my senator. I don't take it that way.
Even me.
That is
Even me.
yours.
My senator is
That's
senior.
what you are saying.
My
But
senator
me, I
is-
know you can build a house for
No,
anyone.
it is very disgusting, I agree. My senator is senior counsel Omogeni. If we hear that a woman has built for him a house, it is disgusting. I agree with you. But
What
did
is your
he?
take, Your Honor?
But no, it is very bad. But did he build his father's house? The fact will not change. This is disgusting. Did he build his father's house?
Question answered.
Can you dispute that that house you went and sat comfortably and laid the late was built by her? Can you dispute?
Your Honor, I know Mithika can build the house of his father and everything. So about issue of her,
Do you know whether he built? It's not about whether he can. Do you have evidence that he built?
I said I'm not aware, but
Thank
I know
you.
you can do it.
And I'm putting to you that he failed that test. And it's very disgusting.
That's the end. I'm not aware of that. Your
Thank you.
Honor.
Let's proceed. The only time you were there is during the burial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you aware the petitioner wanted to come for the burial?
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
Thank you. When did the late senior Linturi pass?
I may not remember the proper date, Your Honor, but it's the month, I think 2 months ago, Your Honor.
Thank you. Will you be surprised that when he passed on, we were proceeding in this matter?
The matter was on, Your Honor.
The matter was on. Will you be surprised that my Marianne wanted to go to console, but Mithika Linturi insisted to proceed with this matter? Are you surprised?
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
No, I'm putting it to you now. Are you surprised?
I'm not aware of that.
What is the canon law teaching about the respect of the dead?
Your Honor, the dent, the canon law are respected because it says that there is life after death.
And the dead must be respected.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You'll be surprised Mithika Linturi did not respect his father.
Can you respect him, Your Honor? Because he arranged the burial and everything.
I've asked the date of this court. Let's proceed. I've heard the direction of the court. Have you ever been to Mithika Linturi's house in Runda?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Did you know where they used to stay with Miriam?
No, Your Honor.
I put it to you that they were staying in Runda together.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Documents, Mr. Senator Linturi, I said, and confirmed that they were staying together, but she was staying as a visitor. Are you aware?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
That he has confirmed they were staying, but they were staying as a visitor. Are you aware?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
And the visitor had overstayed. Were you aware of that?
No, Your Honor.
Are you aware it is Marianne who built that house?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
I'm putting it to you, I'm only informing you now.
As a question or as an information?
Information, because you are never been told. And it's true from day one, 2000. Mithika has never told you anything that is true.
He tells me the truth, Your Honor. He has never.
I will do a summary of what the lies when I put my summary case to you. Are you aware that Marianne demolished the old father's house and built a decent house fitting the house of our father, of our senator?
I'm not aware.
I'm putting it to you now. Are you aware Marianne built the house in 2017 in Runda?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
You did a wedding to Mercy Kaimenyi in 2008, 2000.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you last see Mercy Kaimenyi?
Lastly, I saw her during the burial, Your Honor, the burial of the Linturi.
From 2000 up to the burial, had you ever seen Mercy Kaimenyi again?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where?
I met her once in Mary, Your Honor, and she greeted me.
Another time?
Lastly, I think I also met her in January this year, January or February, still in Mary, and I greeted her as we are passing.
So, you confirm that the only point of contact for the people you did a wedding to was only on the streets of Meru.
I'm not saying that, my Your Honor.
For Mercy Kaimenyi.
Mercy Kaimenyi.
I'm asking for
We
Mercy.
live, I live far and
Thank you.
far.
Number two, who was the best man in that wedding?
It was called DJ Mbaya.
Have you ever met the couple that you wedded other than meeting Mercy on the streets?
Come again, Your Honor.
Have you ever met Mithika Linturi and the best man, Mercy Kaimenyi and the best lady, other than the day of the wedding?
I did met them several, Your Honor, when I was in Kitany, and from there I moved there. I never met them again.
Have you ever been in Mercy Kaimenyi's house?
No, Your Honor. She is a teacher at Nanyuki, Your Honor.
She teaches at Nanyuki.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where does she stay?
I don't know, Your Honor.
You don't know. For the funeral. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she host you in her house with your husband?
That day it was a wedding day, Your Honor. I went for the burial.
It said a yes or no.
I went to the burial, Your Honor.
It was, she never hosted you. Now, let me move to the last part of this question. One, and this is a 5-minute session. Number one, you before you conducted the marriage.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Number two, you were never told that Mithika Linturi had other women outside marriage before you conducted the wedding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Free. The wedding that you say you conducted was conducted in a different church from what the marriage certificate says.
No, Your Honor. That's not true what you are saying, Your Honor.
We watched the video. I didn't want us to again argue what is obvious. We watched the video.
The office is the same church where they were wedded, the same we saw here, Your Honor.
What is the name of the church in the marriage certificate?
Tigania Catholic Parish.
What is the name in the video of the church?
Tigania Catholic Parish.
You want us to do replay?
Yes, Your Honor, it is Tigania Parish.
You know,
the
to save time.
Your Honor,
the
is
court,
the same name.
the
Tigania
court-
Catholic Parish.
court
Tigania is the
notice
same name. Those are synonymous names in our
that in
this name.
Free. Number 4. There were no bans that were done in Mithika Linturi's home church.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. 5. The wedding was conducted in the ladies' church.
Yes, Your Honor, it's our tradition and our custom.
5. In the marriage declaration forms that you are produced by the church, there are no details of the bans in Mithika Linturi's church.
Yes, Your Honor.
5th, the canon law that we have looked at provides in no certain terms in canon number 1059. What does it say?
What was the previous one?
Conclusion of Mithika Linturi's church. 6th, the marriage under the Catholic Church is as per Canon 1059. Read it.
The marriage of Catholics, even if only one party is a Catholic, is governed not only by divine law, but also by canon law, without prejudice to the competence of the civil authority in respect of the merely civil effects of the marriage.
That is canon which?
1059.
And there is no way a Catholic church can be conducted. Even when I'm a Muslim and I'm a Catholic, the Catholic president takes precedence, according to Canon 1059.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is the law.
Catholic
Which
is a
means
Catholic,
the
children do
Catholic is superior. Is supreme. True.
According to that law, Your
No,
Honor.
I respect it. The Catholics are supreme.
Yes, Your Honor.
And even the civil law must try to accept.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I put it to you that the marriage that you did is not a Catholic marriage that complies
Honor.
with Article 10 with Canon 1059.
It is supreme. You have said
You
so.
know, I think the rule is being barricade process.
You will have time. You'll have time, my good brother, to re-examine and point, and we'll do some measures. 7th question. That you were not licensed by the government of Kenya to conduct a marriage. You had no license.
I had Your Honor.
Let us not hide. There was no, and up to today, there has not been any license by government for you to conduct marriages in 2000.
It was there, Your Honor.
Let's proceed. You are good.
And it is my
You are-
only lawyer, Your Honor.
Your
he has
good
it.
professor of law, he has told you will deal with it. For now, it's not there.
It's okay, let's go ahead, Your Honor. Continue.
That
It's only Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. This is Your Honor.
Thank you. The registrar has not produced this document to explain the irregularities it has? Who is the one who has made it?
Was it written, Your Honor? Your Honor, it is a copy of what the document you have in the
So
charge,
I'm
Your
not
Honor.
complaining. It is a document of the government.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the person only who can deal with it is a government officer. Page 20, the next one we have is the one you produced in page 20. The next page, Your Honor, page 23. What is it? Record.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it is certified by somebody not authorized to certify documents.
Is authorized, Your Honor. Is authorized.
So this document is dated when?
2018, Your
2018. Is a document of 2018?
It was extracted on 2018 from
I
the
have
records, Your Honor.
no problem with it. I have
It's
no
when it
problem
was
with
written.
And the person who has certified it is who?
The one was that day, Your Honor.
Who?
I don't see his name here.
Although we will tell you who is allowed to certify.
One in the office of.
I have no problem. I have no problem. I've only told you I want to do a
I'm
summary.
not trying to go somewhere, Your Honor.
Yes, yes. The official receipt you presented, dated.
This is not the one, Your Honor. I'm sorry. This is from the government.
Who brought it?
Yeah.
It's not you.
It's called government.
No, if it's not you, I cannot ask anything that you didn't bring. Thank you. Then you produced a certified copy of certificate of marriage, or it's not you?
Not me, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. That is according to your documents. Let me go to question number 10, still I'm proceeding. That you have not been shown any evidence that Mercy Kaimeni has sworn an affidavit that she is married. In all this, have you seen an affidavit of Mercy Kaimeni?
Saying what?
That are married?
To who?
She will tell us. Have you seen any evidence by Mercy Kaimeni?
Yes, Your Honor.
Show us the affidavit.
The certificate is there, Your Honor. That's evident to me.
To you is a certificate. I'm
That's
saying
it.
an affidavit.
No, man.
There's no affidavit.
Of the church marriage, you don't do.
That's what's it. That's what's
For
it.
Mercy Kaimeni, the church marriage was no need of affidavit.
There's no affidavit. Did you come here with a witness statement? Did you yourself come here with a marriage certificate or with a witness statement?
No certificate, Your Honor.
Did you do a witness statement?
I can't understand that, Your Honor.
Did you do this? Did you do this?
This is the statement I've done, Your Honor, yes?
That's what I'm saying. Have you seen any similar to Mercy?
This one, Your Honor. I did this on swing that I'm the one who married her.
I'm saying, have you seen any statement written like this one?
I've not seen my. I
Like
wrote mine.
by
I wrote
Mercy.
it here.
Yours is there.
Yeah.
Did you
Ask
sign
me
it?
about me. Yes, my Honor.
Where did you sign it?
It's here.
Which office were you signing it from?
The office from the lawyer.
Where?
At Milimani, Your Honor.
At Milimani.
Yes.
Did you go there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which date?
The day I signed it, Your Honor.
Which date?
It is 4th day of July 2019, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. And you signed it.
Yes, Your
Have
Honor.
you seen any Mercy assigned?
I was not checking about anybody else, Your Honor. I checked about I was doing my part. I can't confirm that, Your Honor.
I'm only saying. You read it. Thank you. Point number 16, that the statement of him when he's being admitted to the University of Nairobi, he says he is separated. The court is doing a summary. We have had 2 days. I'm only doing a summary. What do you say? You know the court must get your response.
Your Honor, I'm not aware of the appeal separated, Your Honor.
I showed you. Thank you. That on the 26th of March 2016, he officially wedded and married one Mariani Kitany in a non-customary marriage.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
And that from day one to today, Mithika Linturi has produced lies after lies.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor. And I'm not convinced of that.
That he filed a petition, 198 of 128 to officially divorce. Mercy Kaime.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
I've only showed you.
And I'm not convinced.
You are not convinced. Thank you. We are not yet convinced anybody. Presented before this court, my good friend Mr. Cliff. No, he deals with the criminal law. That's why he has several beards to see things graphically. Look at this marriage certificate form.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is the witness in this marriage form?
David Mbaya,
David Mbaya who?
John,
And
Esther Aki,
Mbaya. Esther Aki Mbaya.
Yes, Your Honor.
In your witness statement, the witnesses were who?
They
Who were the
The
witnesses?
same people. Yeah,
You
Your
read
Honor.
here.
In the certificate?
In the certificate, Your Honor, the witness is Esther.
Esther John
You can
Mbaya.
read better.
Esther Aki Mbaya.
Esther Aki Mbaya. In your witness statement,
This, I'm sorry, this is not mine, Your
in
Honor.
David Mbaya, who is David Mbaya?
The witness.
He's a witness. Is he the husband of Esther?
I think so, Your Honor.
No, you know either you don't. In paragraph 4, what does he say?
My wife,
Who?
Mudamia Esther Aki.
Mudamia Esther Aki is the one who witnessed that.
The same
Which are
person, Your
two
Honor.
different names.
It's the same person, Your Honor.
It's the same person. And in that vein, I want to tell you, in the form for admission at the University of Nairobi, Mithika Linturi is called Mithika Linturi, not Franklin.
Yes, Your Honor. It's normal.
In the other documents,
It
he's
is normal, Your
Franklin.
Honor.
In your marriage certificate, you are called who? The three names?
Jason Micheni Nyeri.
Jason Misheni
Nyeri.
Giri. In your witness statement, your names are who?
Jason Micheni.
Yes. So I want the court to take the coincidence and the selectivity of names. How they are selectively played and picked to satisfy a certain goal.
The truth.
Thank you. Question is that you have no personal knowledge about Mithika Linturi as a person and Mercy Kaimeni as a person in issue marriage. You don't have no knowledge. You have never been together, you don't know that family.
I know them, Your Honor.
And lastly, you do not know any of Mercy Kaimeni and Mithika Linturi's children.
Yes, Your Honor, I don't stay
You
together.
don't know him. Thank you. And you don't know where Mercy Kaimenyi lives.
He lives in, he's a teacher, Your Honor.
You only know where she teaches.
And yes, Your Honor.
She stays in that school.
I'm not sure. I'm not
Do you know the school?
No, Your Honor.
You don't know the school. Do you know the subject she teaches?
No, Your Honor, it's not in my...
Is it a secondary school or a primary school?
I think it's a primary school, Your Honor.
You think it's a private school. Do you know the name?
No, Your Honor.
You don't. That's what I'm saying. You have no knowledge about this man and this woman.
Your Honor, I know them.
How many other children does she have?
Who?
Mercy.
I don't remember his children, Your Honor.
Do you know any?
No, I don't know.
Thank you. Let us not waste time. You don't know, you have no knowledge about this. Then you also don't know that Mithika Linturi had rent arrears and he was accommodated by my client.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
Neither are you aware that Mariana and Nini and Linturi after marriage, they went to stay in her house in Rwanda.
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
You are not aware, that's what I'm saying. Neither are you aware that Marianne built Senator Linturi's father a house.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
Were you present when the president was coming to open the house?
I was not...
Were you aware?
I was not aware, Your Honor.
Did Mithika Linturi tell you that they have invited the deputy president?
I was not aware.
And the Honorable Dwale came to open the house? You are not aware. Are you aware that during the motion to impeach one cabinet minister, Mithika Linturi and Marianne were at Sopa Lodge?
I'm not aware, Your
You are
Honor.
not aware. Therefore, the man you have come to give evidence in support is a pathological liar.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor. Also,
I've given you the consistency.
it's not a prayer, Your Honor.
And he selectively kept this information from you and from everybody.
I'm not aware of that, Your Honor. Anything I wanted to know from him, I got it anytime, Your Honor. Anything to know, I got it.
So when somebody is saying at the university form that he's not married, is that the truth or that's a lie?
Your Honor, there's a difference between marriage and separation. Those are two different things. I'm saying.
When somebody says on oath in an affidavit that I'm not married, is that a lie or that's a truth?
I've not heard him say that, Your Honor.
You've read the document.
He has not said I'm not married. I saw the word separation, Your Honor. Those are two different things.
I finish by saying that you are part and parcel of the lying kingdom.
I said no, Your Honor.
And all the evidence that you have brought here, did you say you are connected to Senator?
No, Your Honor.
Is that in the court record?
No, Your Honor.
Have you proved any contact, any relationship?
No, Your Honor.
Were you paid to come and give the evidence you want to give?
No, Your Honor.
Were you bribed to do that?
No, Your Honor.
That what you have deponed and told your Honor is the truth.
Yes, I can what I say is true, Your Honor. I've seen the truth only.
And you are
I've seen the
traveling to
area.
her?
Yes.
You are traveling to? You are traveling to? We want to wish you all the best.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
Where are you heading to?
That's my secret, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as you travel. I have no further questions from Marianne. May God bless you.
You too, Your Honor. And I will bless you.
I'll come for the sacrament.
The value of this video is that it shows those children who are actually part of the procession, the children with those other women, and therefore the idea that Linturi lied about his children with other women, and therefore if that had been disclosed, the marriage, so that's what I'm driving at, and if counsel allows the witness, even the court has not recorded,
ask straight to the question about the children, not
flower
flowers.
girl indicated as number 5? Who is the 5th flower girl?
It's called Blender. Blender
Mwendwa. Is that the child you asked about during cross-examination?
I think so, Swan, Your Honor, because this I came to learn later on after the wedding. And during the wedding, I came to know that she was the daughter of Mithika Linturi.
You are told this girl is the daughter of a woman called Karaoke.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would Karaoke have allowed her daughter to participate in this wedding if she had any objections to it?
No, Your Honor.
We can now go to the dock so that we move faster.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you like to show it to the court? You asked questions about your ID.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you show the court your original ID?
This is my ID, Your Honor.
Sir, to the best of your knowledge, what is the name on your ID? Is the name written on that ID?
Jason Michen Nyeri.
Jason Michen.
Nyeri.
Now I want to show you the petitioner's bundle. Let's go to the marriage certificate. That would be page 20, Your Honor, of the petitioner's bundle.
Yeah, and I don't know what has been presented to the court. ID is 1 page.
If counsel could flip the other side, Your Honor.
Yes. I'm seeing that.
This confirmed is the name.
Jason Michen Nyeri.
What is the name on the marriage certificate at page 20 of the bundle?
Father Jason Michen Nyeri.
Is it the same name or different names?
The same name, Your Honor.
You are asked, sir, whether you are licensed to conduct marriages. You recall that question?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you wish to show the court your marriage license at the material point in time?
Your Honor, I object to that line of producing evidence at the examination stage. The witness had all his time to produce evidence at the examination in chief. An attempt to introduce evidence at this time is not known by any law. The witness never produced any license. The law as it is, all evidence is produced at re-examination to allow the defense to cross-examine. As it is now, there is no record of a license. And we object to any introduction of any document at this stage. Council knows that is the law.
My colleague also knows it is the law that in cross-examination, you don't ask questions whose answer you don't know. But it is also a common wisdom among the Greeks. Beware what you pray for it may just be granted. In the pleadings, no issue was raised about whether this person was licensed to conduct marriages. I recall raising that objection to his line of questioning. The purpose of pleadings is to alert the other side what issues will be raised. This witness's statement was served several months ago. My colleague chose not to raise the issue about whether this witness was licensed to conduct marriages. He decided to do something called trial by ambush, which is when the witness takes the dock, he took his chances, because I suspect he was speculating that the witness was not licensed. Now that he is the one who has introduced that issue, exposed so late in the proceedings, after the closure of pleadings, he cannot eat his cake and have it. It is trial by ambush unless my colleague is willing to ask that question he asked about this witness, whether he was licensed to conduct marriages, unless he is amenable to that being expunged from the record. Because he never gave any notice during the pleadings that would be an issue. And because, of course, it was not an issue, we never filed those documents. You don't just file documents to fasten the court file. You file documents to respond to the issues raised by the other side. Lastly, Your Honor, whichever we look at it, even if the court doesn't want to admit these documents in evidence, the court will still be entitled to look at it to the extent that there is an issue raised in cross-examination, whether this witness was licensed to conduct marriages. I keep saying, Your Honor, it is not a show. The rule, as I was taught, is never ask questions whose answers you don't know. And beware what you pray for it may just be granted. My colleague prayed through cross-examination that you find this witness is not licensed. Now that the license is being shown, he is objecting. You can't have it both ways.
The law is simple about these issues of cross-examination and re-examination. You cannot re-examine on things that were not raised in cross-examination. But if then you have to do that, then you cannot introduce evidence at the time of re-examination. If you are going to introduce evidence in re-examination, then the opportunities that he had were two, during examination in chief and a cross-examination itself. So when he produces new evidence this particular time, it does not give us a chance to bite. And there is no law that opens that up for us. So that is what under the bridge, he can pray to any Greek gods that he wants to pray to today. But that is what under the bridge, and it has gone with those gods.
Actually, even that's not the law, Your Honor. Just a minute, Your Honor, because it appears, Your Honor, as a matter of law, evidence can actually be given even in re-examination. The only qualification is if they so desire, they can cross-examine on the newly introduced matter. I think we had a similar motion before. If my colleagues are so, it's them who have put us here, but it is not the law that evidence cannot be introduced in re-examination. It can, and if it's necessary, I can project the rule. The only qualification is if they are so minded, they can cross-examine further. But it must be remembered, these documents were not necessary. The need to produce them did not exist until it was introduced by the people now, very uneasy, which is why I say beware What you pray for, that's a Greek proverb. Your prayers may just be granted.
As I echo the sentiments of, this is a question about it. It's not about questions of gods or mythical defined issues. It is settled law. What limits of re-examination are. We do not put pleadings demanding that brings certification. If an advocate has no license to practice, you don't need to file pleadings asking, produce your practicing certificate before the hearing date. It is mandatory to them. Your Honor, this is a matter of law. And as I said, I beg Mudomi's saying we shall proceed to battle that argument to the Supreme Court. Let the court provide a ruling. There was no evidence in chief. It cannot be sneaked now.
Is by the adverse party may further cross-examine upon that new matter. And that in this issue having been introduced very late into the proceedings, the evidence will be admissible as a matter of law. The only qualification is if they so desire, they can cross-examine on that document.
Examine so as to tackle and clear issues raised in cross-examination. The provision, so as to firm up the position that was held by the said witness during examination in chief. In this case, it should be noted that this is the respondent's case that has commenced, only that this court has allowed, for the purposes of ease of management, allowed him to jump the queue so as to deal with certain exigencies that have cropped up where he's said to be traveling out of his jurisdiction. Knowing the role of that he was to play in this the respondent should have been alive to the fact that his capacity to conduct marriages would be questioned. Just as there have been questions as to whether the respondent had the capacity to contract other marriages, which the petitioner has now countered in such a manner. So, cited by counsel is couched in a manner that makes it mandatory that to reopen a witness testimony, one has to satisfy certain criteria, and for good reason. That the drafters of the law were alive to the uncertainties that would arise or be caused where there will be a likelihood of endless reopening of proceedings, thereby clogging the proper management of the matter. This court has had occasion of previously dealing with similar issues, and to me, I still hold the same view that new evidence ought not to be introduced at this stage. For that reason, I will hold that to the objection sustained. 6.
Can we be allowed to file that document? So, under section 146.3, we're seeking leave to file those 2 licenses. The grounds on which we make a request, Your Honor, are as follows. Number 1, this issue of whether the witness is qualified to celebrate marriages is not an issue on the pleadings. That issue having not been raised on the pleadings, and the person on the dock being merely a witness as opposed to a party to the case, we had no notice that that would be an issue. Number 2, why we had no notice? The marriage impugned on the pleadings, the marriage you are called upon to dissolve by divorce, is not a marriage this witness celebrated, but another marriage. And for that reason, again, we had no reasonable notice that that issue will be raised. Number 3, Your Honor, the record will bear us out that the petitioner has filed several documents after the close of pleadings. We can't even count them. Volumes upon volumes of documents that the petitioner has filed without leave. And if the petitioner has enjoyed the benefit of those documents remaining on record, even though they were filed after the close of pleadings and without leave, it will not be to ask for too much for us to request that the 3 documents, namely the identity card of this witness, is marriage license dated 2nd October 1992, dated 2nd of October 1992, and the marriage license.
What is that? The first marriage?
It's called marriage license.
That one of the 2nd October.
The one of 2nd October is a marriage license. It is the marriage license dated 10th October 2014.
October 2014.
Yes. One is issued under the old law, and then the other one, of course. The latter one is not actually necessary, but just for completeness of record. It's important for us that both be put on the record. Your Honor, another ground upon which you're making this, which I had already said earlier on, this matter was only introduced very late into the proceedings. The next ground, Your Honor, these documents are about one was licensed. the question of whether one is licensed is a legal question. Perhaps it has elements of fact. And even if these documents were excluded, it would not mean these witnesses were not licensed anyway, because that license is issued by the Republic of Kenya. My penultimate ground is no prejudice. The petitioner suffers no prejudice, at least not one remediable in law, by the introduction of these documents, especially when their introduction is necessitated by the petitioner's own belated introduction of the issue. The point is the petitioner suffers no prejudice from the introduction of these documents, especially in the circumstances where the need to introduce them arises from the petitioner's own line of cross-examination very late into the proceedings. That's what I had. Those reasons, Your Honor.
Before we begin, on the now celebrated Article 159(2)(b) of our Constitution, that provides that justice shall be administered without due regard to technicalities. Just an addition on those few grounds that he has enumerated.
That the documents be allowed, and I was going to say still on the prejudice. The person who herself has filed so many documents, and our prayer in the alternative, Your Honor, as part of this application, our alternative prayer is if the court is not inclined to allow these documents to come on record, then what is good for the goose must be good for the gander. All the documents the petitioner has filed without leave and after close of pleadings, including all the amended witness statements, and I could list them if we have time for that, be equally struck off. Because justice is like a sword, they say it cuts both ways. If the reason our prayer is to be declined is we have it, then by the same measure, our alternative prayer is if the court is not inclined to accept these documents into the record, it should apply the same measure, because what is good for the boy should be good for the girl. What is good for the goose should be good for the gander. The petitioner cannot be heard to have our own document filed without leave, irregularly remain on record, then we had to loudly object. And for those very many reasons, we very humbly urge the court that this is a matter that can be dealt with summarily. In fine favor with the court, we could come tomorrow between 8 at 9, then I will finish that small element of the exam. And then
why don't I give a mid-part in solving this impasse?
Yes.
We can continue with our witness. After all, it's not the make of this document.
Yes.
Finalize with your witness. The application you have made, we keep it again in abeyance.
Okay.
Knowing that we can revisit it at some point, because it's going to be put in a lot of action.
Yes.
Having to come back. So
Okay.
that we deal with the other issues later.
Because I have people here who are breastfeeding. This is 7, because we also don't, I remember I was in a matter of the anti-corruption matter, and we proceeded up to midnight. And the question at the High Court was, what are the official hours for proceedings in court? You know, this is 7.
your cases.
Yeah, I'm saying it is 7. We can adjourn and proceed at that time.
It is not the court. A request was put to us, but you agreed.
Yes.
Let's jump this witness
Yes.
to another, to fast track his evidence. It will be a deficit act if we do not then complete that task.
So I'll take very short the details of the proceedings, Your Honor.